Welcome, everyone, to our newest episode of Ready, Set, Rewatch. In this podcast, we are boldly going to continue our Star Trek journey by talking about the first two episodes of Season 2 of the original series. My name is Skyler. This is Daniel, my friend.
I'm in a bad mood. It's that
Oh,
time of the 7 years, Skyler.
uh-oh. Uh-oh, the Daniel's having his pon
I
far.
gotta get Pond far away from here.
Oh, no. The episodes we're talking about today are one of the most famous episodes, and then another one, I guess. That's how I'll describe them. Um,
Honestly, yeah.
um, Amok Time and Who Mourns for Adonais. Daniel, how are you
Mm,
excited? Are you excited to start season two? We did season one. We took a little break, a little Tron break, and now we're right back into it.
yeah. I going back to start watching Star Trek again. I was like, yeah, this is real nice. This is good. I missed this actually.
Star Trek's a little soothing.
Yeah. Well, and I liked Tron, so it's not like, it's not like we were going through
Yeah,
something bad or whatever, but I
yeah.
was just like,
But
all my friends are back.
my old intro of where we watch things we love and some things that we hate. I had stopped doing that because we haven't watched anything we've hated
We
yet.
haven't watched, well, maybe like one or two episodes, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, but as a whole, I wouldn't. We can't put the hate label on all of Star Trek, though.
No, I would put it on Miri.
Yeah, or
Return of the
the
Archons.
trying to remember what the Lazarus, that
Oh,
fucker,
it's got a really stupid name. Alternative Factor.
alternative factor.
Yeah.
For my money, I still think that's the worst episode we've watched
I
so far.
agree. When we posted a short about that, and you, the audience, obviously, must have watched it because it did really well. Uh, One of the most consistent comments on that was, "Hey, this one's bad, but Spock's brain is worse."
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we got that to look forward to.
I don't remember Spock's brain
I've seen the
at
thumbnail,
all.
and that's it.
I don't remember Spock's brain at all. So, but everyone always talks about how bad it is. So maybe me not remembering it is like a trauma response. I
It's a
don't know.
defense mechanism.
But you know what? Let's not talk about Spock's brain. Let's
Oh,
talk about Spock's beard.
oh,
The prog rock band. There's a prog rock band named Spock's Beard.
oh. But wouldn't that be about Mirror Mirror?
Oh shit! Cut that part out.
I thought
We're
you
not
were gonna
talking.
say, "Let's talk about Spock's wiener."
Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about Spock's hormones.
Oh my god,
If you don't cut that out,
I'm leaving
we
it in.
we
It's very
we
funny.
we watched a bunch of episodes. Remember that joke next time
Remember that joke next time.
because it was good.
It's a good one. Pretend I made that later.
Yeah, just save it. Save it, play it back. It's fine. Who cares?
Ugh.
Oh no,
Huh?
my computer made a noise. Keep that in too. All right, go ahead. Tell us about whatever the fuck episode. Mirror, mirror. No,
No.
a mock time.
A mock time.
Tell us about when Spock got a little
You
horny.
got a little horny. Jesus Christmas.
When he got violently horny.
So, one of the most famous episodes of Star Trek, by which I mean one of the ones I had heard about prior to this,
Mhm.
A Mock Time, starts with Kirk climbing a ladder that's in the hole where a turbo lift is supposed to be, I'm pretty sure. And also, it's one of those awful ladders. We have one at work to get up onto the roof where it's not like flat rungs, it's little like poles, and they suck, and I hate them.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I wrote in my notes that I can only assume that the turbo lift is like out for maintenance.
Scotty took one day off, and the turbo lift stopped working.
Makes sense. Scotty's gonna go through some shit in these episodes we talk about.
He
So
he really is. Bones stops Kirk in the hallway, and he tells him that Spock has been acting really weird and also not eating for some reason. And then they catch Nurse Chapel trying to take Spock a bowl of weird purple Vulcan soup.
I made Spock his favorite alien goo.
Here's a tentacle. He
Mhm.
uses it like a straw.
Oh my goodness.
But shortly after she enters his bedroom, she comes running out, followed very shortly by the soup, which splatters against the wall in a very satisfying way.
Man, he was mad.
He
He
comes,
did it.
yeah. He
He
comes
did
right
it.
out after, and he's like, "If I want anything from you, I'll ask for it."
He threw that soup and screamed at her in a way that you would assume he would have stumbled out of his quarters wearing like a white wife beater
Right.
and holding a can of Pabst.
We need to figure out some kind of merch opportunity for a Vulcan version of PBR.
Oh God, you put me on the spot here.
I have.
Far ribbon is the best I have right now.
Okay. We'll circle back. We'll circle back to it.
And in context is not something I would drink.
No, God, no. Absolutely not. Uh, he then, seeing Kirk, requests a leave of absence on his home planet, Vulcan. And Kirk is like, what? And then he gets really mad and he's like, are you going to give me my rest or not? Or something.
He comes at him with the like, I never asked for time off. I know I have it accumulated. You give me this leave.
I earned
It's just like
this.
that's fair. He's
It
you
is
know
fair.
what?
But he's being very rude about it. And then we get our intro, and it's a new intro, I think.
It is.
Yeah. They're like
It's
singing now.
it's not worth saving for the trivia spot, but I will tell you. New opening credits. DeForest Kelly's name has been added to the starring part
Makes
of the
sense.
cast, and the theme music was extended and has the female soprano voice by I'm gonna butcher this first name at least, Louise Jean Norman, and they added percussion. So yeah, they kind of just revamped it a bit.
Is that like a alternate universe version of Marilyn Monroe?
Is that
Because
why?
because her real name was Norma Jean
That's
something.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. I knew it played into what her real name was, but I couldn't remember
I
what
don't
it
remember what
was.
her last name was. Not Monroe. Uh,
So yeah, we're gonna say that's the mirror universe.
Mirror
So
Universe.
we're gonna keep referencing the mirror universe. This is why we don't. This is why we don't bank them. This is why we
We
don't
can't
go
do
in
it.
advance
It turns out we
because
can't do
I'm
it.
gonna keep. Oh well. Hey guys, the mirror universe episode's coming up.
It's coming up. Look forward to that. Uh, after the intro, Kirk is reprimanding Spock in Spock's office or his room or whatever. And Spock is being weird. Like, we cut back, and the first thing he's saying is like, "Well, she shouldn't wait on me. I'm not her man," or something. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's a little sexist, but like, clearly you're going through some shit. I don't know what's happening. And then Kirk continues the conversation of, "Hey man, I don't really care about that. What about the leave? Like, you've never asked for leave before. I've offered it to you and you've said no. Why do you want it now?" And they keep talking for a while, and eventually Spock is like, Kirk offers to let him have his leave, but just on a different planet that's like close by, like where they're already going. And he's like, "No, it literally has to be Vulcan."
I want to point out that I wrote it down exactly how you just said it. Kirk basically Spock tries to explain why he was mean to Nurse Chapel, and Kirk basically said, "I don't care about
I
that.
don't care
Explain why you need to go to Vulcan."
I don't care that you were mean to a woman. I need to know
Yeah.
why you were mean to me,
That's none
your
of my
best
business.
friend and boyfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, as he's talking to him, Spock is now just like holding a shaking knife behind his back.
I took note of that. Like the camera, it's very much in focus, and at one point Kirk even
Looks at it.
takes a look at it. He's like, "You gonna stab me in the neck with that?"
You're gonna murder me right fast? Spock then refuses to give literally any details about anything, and then Kirk's like, "Okay," and he tells Sulu to take the ship to Vulcan. So,
Yeah,
it all worked out, right?
yeah.
Later, they get a call saying that some weird inauguration for some guy at some planet no one cares about has been moved up a week, and so Kirk has to be there to make an appearance, I guess. So they changed their flight plan immediately so that they can get there in time. And also, hey, look, Chekhov's here, and his hair looks really bad.
You're like, it's like you're reading my
There
notes.
you go.
Literally, this is how I wrote it. Some asshole made a stupid demand, and now we can't go to Vulcan. Next bullet point: Chekhov is here.
Also, hey, there's Chekhov. Why does his hair look
Yeah.
like that?
He's a young Russian kid in space. You leave him alone.
He
That's
looks
his
like
hair.
Coconut Head from Ned's Declassified.
Excuse you, Coconut Head looks like him.
Okay, that's fair. But hey, the whole team's here now, right? Cool, we got him. That's the last like full, I almost said party member, crew member, right?
Yeah, the last one that matters. So, Kirk, Bones, and Spock, obviously the main three.
Uh-huh.
Then we got Sulu, Scotty, Uhura, Chekhov, and then below that as like she shows up sometimes as Nurse Chapel. And then even below that, as she used to go here, is Rand.
Rand. Yeah.
And then that basically covers all of us, I think.
You're forgetting about our favorite guy, drunk Irish guy.
Oh,
What was his name? Riley. Riley.
Riley. Riley. There's a recurring guy in some of these episodes.
Transporter
Not
Chief
Riley.
Kyle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you tier list him under
I
Rand, I guess
There's a
he
solid
goes here.
chance.
Hmm.
I almost guarantee he's in more episodes than Chapel. He might be in more episodes than like Chekhov. Because he's been around the whole show and we just haven't been talking about him.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it's just because they finally got around to telling us his name,
Yeah.
and I don't even know if that was in this episode. To be fair.
Couldn't tell you. Yeah. I've been pulling
No.
it out of the IMDb because I was
Yeah, yeah.
looking at who was in there. So Kirk's like, that's just sailor's luck, man. But we'll get you your leave right after the inauguration. And then later, Kirk is sitting in his room and he's, kicking his feet up and thinking about Spock, as he does most nights, I assume. And he calls down to Chekhov and he's like, "Hey, how late would we be if we just like swam by Vulcan real fast? Like, how late would I be to work if I stopped by McDonald's for a for a quick breakfast sandwich?"
It's always a bad idea, let me tell you.
And he's like, "What do you mean? Like, we're already on our way to Vulcan. Spock told me to do that." And Kirk's like, "Oh, yeah? And that's something." So Kirk goes to the bridge.
Kirk does hit him with the response of like, "And I knew that.
And I knew that. And that's correct.
I'm still in charge." And Chekhov is like, "Yeah."
Chekhov's like, "I don't care. I'm new here." I think the other guy who... We haven't talked about him, but there was another guy who was at the helm a lot, and I think he's actually at the helm again in the next episode. He's also the guy who was the bunny, right? Something Blackwell burn something?
The bunny?
Yeah.
Are you
And not Watership Down.
are you
Shore
Are you
leave.
going into business for yourself with these trivia facts?
No, I remember seeing it on the IMDb because he was credited for like a bunch of different roles. Sometimes I have to go on there to see what like the characters' names are because I don't know
Yeah,
them.
I'll be honest. There was a trivia about this guy that you're talking about and how he's here again, and also he's wearing a different color uniform
Oh,
for some
so
reason
they just
in
like
one of these episodes.
they like got
And
Chekhov, so they were like, "Well, we're not going to fire you. Just now you work in security or something."
I'm scrolling through my notes here, and that trivia, at least during the time of me watching, was deemed not cool enough to make the cut, and I didn't realize it was going to become a talking point.
Doesn't matter.
Oops.
Nope. Oops. Anyway, so Kirk goes to the bridge and he pulls Spock out into the hall and he's like, "Hey man, what the fuck are you doing? What are we, why?" And
Hey,
then
man.
Spock says something pretty not great, which is that he doesn't even remember doing it, but he believes that he would have. And he's like, "You should probably lock me up, dude.
He says, "I'm not going to do that. You
Instead, go
the
to
nurse's
sickbay."
office."
Yeah. Go see Nurse McCoy. So Spock's like, "Okay." And he walks into the med bay and he's like, "Well, I came here. Time to go."
I thought at the time that this would end with Bones certainly being beaten up, but that does not happen.
No, Bones is able to talk him into actually doing a physical. And then there's a really cute little cutaway of Sulu and Chekhov at the helm, complaining about having to switch destination back and forth between Vulcan and this other planet that I think is called Antares, but I didn't write it down.
Yeah, it's a really funny thing where Chekhov, being new here,
Yeah.
is like, "We have orders to go here, but we were gonna go here," and Sulu's kind of like, "What's the one we were ordered to do? Yeah, plot the other one."
Plot the other one. Then in Kirk's office, Bones comes in and he's like, "Hey man, we like have to go to Vulcan or Spock is gonna die in the next week." And Kirk's like, What do you mean?" And he says something like his biology's going crazy. He's getting like pumped full of adrenaline. He won't tell me how to fix it, but the only way to fix it is on Vulcan. We got to go to Vulcan. And also, is it weird that the planet and the species is the same thing?
Uh,
Like, what if we called Earth human? Is that weird?
No, it's backwards. We would be
Okay.
Earth, Earthlings, right?
I guess. Yeah, I guess that does. Maybe they named the planet back when they were still calling Vulcans Vulcanian, and then they were like, "Sure, man," and they just didn't change it.
Sure. I like the idea that humans in the Federation showed up and said this planet is called Vulcan. Like the Vulcans didn't get to name their own planet.
That is
We
funny.
for the record,
Yeah.
we do know what First Contact was like. It's in a movie. The movie's called First Contact, so that was a joke what I said.
Is it
I
about
do
war?
I
Do they fight?
uh
I imagine they
no,
fight.
we don't fight the Vulcans. We fight other things while we meet the Vulcans,
Oh,
kinda. There's
okay.
time travel in
We'll
that
get
movie.
there.
Don't worry about it.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So Kirk
It's
goes to
it's also
Spock.
not a TOS movie.
What?
It's a next gen movie.
Man. Okay. There's not even a Vulcan on that crew.
No. No.
Uh, Kirk goes to Spock's quarters where he is staring at a picture of a young girl.
Mm,
Hmm.
we couldn't have emailed him a more up-to-date photo.
Couldn't do it. Internet is bad in space.
That's probably true.
Kirk then convinces him to tell him what's going on. He's just like, "Hey, you got to tell me. I'm not gonna tell anybody." And then Spock acts really embarrassed in a way that's like kind of cute, but basically, Spock's got he's got a nut.
Yeah.
He's got a nut or he's gonna die. He's got his Ponfar, and what that means is that every like 7 years or something, he has to go back to Vulcan. Although this is the first time he's doing it, so I guess it starts at age 50 or whatever he is. You got to go back to Vulcan and slam bang the girl that your parents decided you were gonna marry when you were 7, or you die.
Yeah, so it's not literally a sexual encounter, but it is essentially a sexual encounter. Spock's going through puberty, and if he doesn't figure out what to do with his hands, he,
The,
he's not gonna
the
survive.
Vulcans never figured out jerking off. It's not
No.
possible. Are there Vulcans
Yeah.
on other crews throughout the different shows? And do they also have a Ponfar episode?
One of my favorite characters in all of Star Trek is the Vulcan character in Voyager. His name is Tuvok, and yes, he has a Ponfar episode.
Does he learn how to jerk off?
I think we're gonna have to like put an explicit warning on this Star Trek discussion.
Sorry.
Um,
Wait, hold on. Does he figure out how to pawn his own far?
he pawns his far in the holodeck. They have a holodeck. Then you see.
Oh, good. It's exclusively a medical procedure.
Yeah.
You gotta pawn your far.
Unlike in Next Gen, when Riker pawns his far in the holodeck, that was not for medical reasons. He just did that. So, you know.
Horrendous. So Kirk asks Uhura if she can call an admiral called Comac, who doesn't matter, but I wrote his name down in my notes, so there's something.
Yeah, some guy we're not going to listen to.
Yeah, and he takes the call in McCoy's office so that they can, I guess, talk about it together. And then Uhura calls. Yeah, so then Uhura calls Spock about something, and he gets really mad and smashes his computer.
Man,
He just punches that shit. He put just one fist.
I can't lie, I've done that before.
You have not turned your entire computer into a tin can with one punch.
During my Ponfar, I did.
Oh my goodness. Then in McCoy's office, which is a new set, it looks like. I guess he's got like an actual office now. And there's like weird skulls on the wall. He's got like shelving with skulls and art and stuff, which is kind of cool. They then talk to the admiral, who's like, "No, you can't go to Vulcan. You have to go to Antares or whatever, because the guy is becoming president of the planet, and if you aren't there, he'll be sad." Which is also, can I just point out, weird, because later in the episode, they're like, "Yeah, there's like 2 other ships going. Why do you need 3 ships? Or is it specifically you have to have Kirk there because Kirk's like cool?"
It's entirely a diplomacy thing.
For sure.
It's like one of your duties as one of the best ship captains in the show is you gotta show up here and wear your nice suit, and you gotta listen to this probably fat guy talk about how fat he is. That's what politics is in space, Kirk.
That's what
And he's
politics
like,
is in 2025.
my Vulcan best friend is gonna jizz himself to death if we don't go home to his childhood house. So we need to. I'm not going. I'm not going to the
Is
stupid
there
fucking.
so Enterprise takes place before this, right?
Enterprise is a prequel way before, yeah.
Is there a Vulcan on that crew?
No, I've never watched
Oh,
Enterprise,
okay,
but
never
no,
mind.
I don't think. I think they're all humans.
I was gonna be like, why do we not know what this is? We've been friends with the Vulcans for a long time.
Well, Spock does say here that like it's a thing that no Outworlder can know, and
But it's never
when
come
the
up.
when they do break it down, how it's just a biological spiritual need for the Vulcans to do this, then it's like you're really just not telling other people because you're embarrassed, is what it seems
I
like.
feel like being embarrassed about it is such a weird thing for Vulcans, though, because I feel like
Yeah.
being embarrassed is an emotional response.
Well, that's what's crazy about it is because they're entirely run by logic and logical decisions. And then when you get horny brain,
Right.
you just kind of lose all that logic and start to chimp out.
And then you punch your computer in half.
And then you just karate chop your computer right down the middle.
Dear God.
So they're embarrassed not because of like sex or whatever, but because they lose their logic and that's all they got. So
Right.
we can't let them know.
So So after he hangs up with the Admiral, Kirk gives a speech of sorts to kind of nobody about how he's just going to go to Vulcan anyway. And Chapel overhears, so then she goes to Spock's room to, like, I don't know, celebrate with him. And his horniness has hit a whole new level. And for a second, it kind of seems like he might pawn her far,
Oh no.
but instead he asks her for soup.
It's like he's apologizing for throwing the soup earlier,
It
basically.
feels like it's also kind of horny, though. Let's be real.
Well, he's going through some stuff, Daniel. And
The tone is horny.
also I don't want to make presumptions because I don't know her what her intentions are.
We know Chapel has a crush on her, on him.
But
We learned that
I
in the fucking
yeah,
Enemy Within.
that's
Wait,
right.
no, Naked
She
Time. Naked Time.
naked time. Well, she made him soup in the first place because she wants to have naked time. I mean, pawn his far. I mean, she made his soup for a reason, okay?
This is a horny show. I
It
didn't
is
know that
now.
going in, but this is a horny show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um. So basically, she just tells him that they're going to Vulcan and then leaves, but then she's gonna make him soup. But we don't see him get the soup. It doesn't matter.
No.
This is just to be like, hey, she still has a crush on him, I guess. Anyway, in a turbo lift to the bridge, Spock asks Kirk and McCoy to beam down to the ceremony with him because he's like, "You're my best friends, and so you get to come watch me come." um, and then they get to the bridge, and as they like enter orbit around Vulcan, and they get a call from a really hot girl who, fortunately, is the older version of that kid that Spock was looking at earlier.
Yeah,
Um,
Spock's hot fiance.
and her name is T'Pring, and she's super hot.
See, now
And
I get it.
And Ahura's like, wow, she's lovely. And he's like, that's my wife. And everyone's like, oh, yeah? Especially Nurse Chapel.
That's a hot Vulcan that would make any man punch a computer in half. I tell you what.
I tell you what. And we get a commercial break. And then they beam down to the planet, and specifically a weird mesa in a desert on Vulcan. And I'm hoping to God that the whole planet is not just a desert. Because I don't know. For some reason, I expected in my brain Vulcan was nice. You know what I mean? It was like
Right.
it was like cities. It was like all polished
Yeah.
silver and shit. It was like
Yeah.
chromed out. And instead, what it is a bunch of rocks in the desert where we get horny and bone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just not what I was expecting at all.
It's not nice. No, you can see in one of the digital matte shots, which I'll talk about in a second. There is like a city off way in the distance.
I didn't notice that.
So there is there's presumably some stuff going on over there. But yeah, the Vulcans are very ceremonial and they like pay respects to their ancient ways, and also their planet is very red. It's always been red in everything. We see it in future. It's red, and when we go there in the J.J.
Right.
Abrams movie for a second, it's pretty red or
But
rocky. And
this would have been the one that like establishes that though, right?
yeah, this is definitely the
Okay.
first time. But I will say this about these shots, specifically when they beam in and they walk across that big like stone bridge, land bridge to the mesa where this temple thing is. That is all remastered digital shots.
Oh, okay.
Um, I saw that and I immediately clocked it and I was like, okay, so this is new digital stuff. No way it looked like this back then. What did it look like back then? So I looked it up, and the answer is they just beam to where they need to go. Like where they beam in and then they start to walk off to the right. The shot
Mm,
just pans to the right and they're there.
okay. Okay. So they just beam straight into that like
Basically,
arena
they beam
thing.
right outside of it. There
Gotcha.
is no walking, marching through the desert any.
Gotcha. Um so they find a weird green stone gong that Spock goes up and hits with a little hammer. Then Spock explains that his wife T'Pring is on her way for their marriage ceremony, since they haven't seen each other since they were like 7, so they're not technically married, and they got to do that before they can you know,
Yeah, he
Volk.
says, what does he say? He says more than betrothed, but less than a wife. Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. And then a bunch of losers in stupid ear hiding helmets come in with bells. And
Mm.
there's a lady with them called T'Pau, because I guess Vulcan women all have at the beginning of their names.
Yeah, you didn't know that Topanga was a Vulcan?
Oh my god! What was the guy in that? Corey, is that right?
Yeah, Corey and Topanga.
Was Corey I can't think of the name of the race. The big
He's
ear
a
guys.
Ferengi.
He's a Ferengi. Ah,
This is our
disgusting,
best.
horrendous.
This is our best episode of this series ever.
All it took was Spock trying to get his Spock out. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's trying to get his box off.
Trying to Anyway, this is Lady T'Pau, and she's an old lady, and apparently she's a big deal because she's the only person to ever turn down having a seat on the Council for the Federation. So Kirk's like, wow, she's like really cool actually.
Yeah, I don't
Which
know
is
the
neat.
historical timeline on that, and like, do we have a Vulcan on there now? Was she like the first Vulcan we asked, and she said "fuck off"?
Yeah, and there's just asked the next coolest Vulcan.
And then the next guy was like, "I'll do it,"
It's
and
probably
then she
Spock's
probably
dad
like
or something.
grimaced at him.
He got
I
nepoed
thought
into it.
Sarek, that's Spock's dad's first name. We're on first
Gotcha.
name basis. I thought Sarek was in this episode, but he wasn't.
So is his
I forgot
name
all about that.
Sarek Spock, or is Spock the first name?
Don't ask me that. I don't
Okay.
know. We had a good time talking about Topanga.
All right,
Don't
you're
bring
right.
it there.
Okay.
I don't.
She has a weird accent, and at one point she says Spock, but it sounds like Spoke.
Mm.
And then she starts questioning the Outlanders being there, and he's like, "Nah, man, like that's my right. They're my besties. They deserve to be here." She's like, "Yeah, all right." But she doesn't seem to really care that much. She just wanted him to like establish why they were there.
Yeah,
So
she was testing him. He's like, I read the rule book. I know I can invite. It's a +2.
that's what it said on the invitation.
Yeah.
She calls out something in Vulcan, and Spock and T'Pring go up to a gong together, but T'Pring stops him from banging in multiple ways, which confuses the white boys. Uh, she she has apparently rejected him, and she's now gonna pick a champion, and they're gonna fight to the death to see who gets to bang T'Pring,
Yeah.
who gets to pring her bell.
Oh my god. This one's getting. This one's getting fucking.
We're getting demonetized. We're already not monetized.
Yeah. No, but we're gonna get like age restricted. That's what it is.
It's okay. I already clicked not for kids on every one of our episodes. We say the F
It's
words
don't
way
watch
too
Star
much.
Trek. It's too horny.
It's extremely horny.
Yeah. She does a little heel turn. Well, I guess
We should have
there's
known
nothing
she
in,
was going to. She was too hot to be good.
yeah. But I don't want to say it's inherently a heel tactic to say I don't want to marry this man. There's nothing
No.
wrong with that.
No, it's the
But
next thing that she does that's a
yeah,
heel tactic.
it's like now fight to the death. It's like, well, okay. And then the chap she brought with her, the young lad who's like, I wanted to ring her bell.
Right. Stan.
We ston in this house.
Right.
He's like, I'll fight, and she's like, no. I want this guy to do it, and points at Kirk.
Which is a shitty move, frankly. And then, but what's possibly worse is that T'Pau's like, you're not a Vulcan. You can say no, and it's totally fine. And then she'll just have to pick a different guy. And he's like,
Yeah.
well, no, I'm gonna do it, obviously. And everyone in the room goes, why?
In his defense, maybe if they said it before, I wasn't listening. Clearly, Kirk wasn't listening. But I'm pretty sure the fight to the death part wasn't said until after the fight started. I think they just but okay, that was in his defense. Now let me say not in his defense.
Right, for sure.
If somebody says we need to do a ceremonial fight, you've been chosen, you can say no, will you fight your best friend? Literally, Daniel, literally, the first question I'm asking, is it to the death?
Is it to the death?
Oh yeah, it is.
Then I'm
gonna pass.
it.
I'm gonna pass on that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna kill my best friend for Topanga. Like, she's great, but no.
And I'm definitely not gonna let my best friend kill me for Topanga.
And look at him. His eyes are rolled into the back of his head right now like he's the goddamn Undertaker.
Kill me.
He's standing in the corner, sweating and air humping with his eyes rolled all the way back. I'm not fighting him. He's on some freak shit.
He's speaking in tongues over there.
He hasn't been the same since that bitch came out with the bells. I don't know what's happening.
He's just standing next to a conveyor belt of little shitty computers. And he's just punching into small bits, one after the other.
It's just
in a horny rage.
It's Office Space, but in like fast forward.
Oh my god!
And one of the reasons that Kirk gives for not turning down the Ponfar fight, which has a name that I didn't write down, it's like coup d'etat or something. I don't know. He is because he doesn't want to look lame in front of T'Pau. He's like, T'Pau's a big deal. I don't want to look lame in front of her. That was suck.
That is true. That is one of the main reason he gives. The first reason he gives is he previously has asked Bones, like, do you think Spock can take this other guy? And Bones is like, no, Spock's too horny to fight. Which
he's too hard.
Listen, I
he took a blue chew on the shuttle down, and he cannot focus.
I think they were underestimating Spock. I think he could have horny fought real good.
I think Spock would have broken that mesa in half with the force of his manhood.
So Kirk is like, well, if Spock can't beat that guy, he can beat me, and it's not like this fight's to the death or anything.
It's not like he'll kill me.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So he accepts basically, and then they bring out the Lurpa, which is the first of our fantasy swords for the Star Trek series. I know that the what is the name of the stupid Klingon sword? Bathlet, Bufflant.
Oh, I don't remember that. They got the little Klingon swords. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Anyway,
yeah, I'll Google Klingon sword.
So we get, so they bring out the Lurpa. It's like a pole arm, but on one end there's like a sort of spade-shaped blade, like a shovel head, and then the other end has like a big mace weight. So it's I don't know, man. And so then they're gonna fight to the death with them.
So that you can set it upright whenever you're done using it.
Right.
The Klingon thing is called the Batleth.
I knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they fight for a while, and they break, and I'm not joking, pretty much the whole set. Every piece of the set that's not a rock gets broken, including at least one rock. And one of the two Lurpas.
I want to point out that we're getting better at this stunt double fighting thing, at least in this fight.
This one's pretty good. Yeah.
We're further away. I mean, we can still tell, but That's not their fault that we have like HD 4K TVs.
Um,
That's
but also keep in mind that Shatner probably wanted to be more a part of this fight because he gets his titties out.
oh well, yeah. You get your titties out. Shatner getting out the slutty shoulder.
Spock at one point hits him with the like cuts his chest with the lurpa, and it opens a boob window in the front of his shirt for just the rest of the episode. So T'Pau calls for a timeout, and Bones is like, "Hey, can I give Kirk an injection? Because your atmosphere is weird and he can't really breathe." And I'm like, that feels like cheating. And to T'Pau's credit, her first answer is the air is the air. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good answer. But then she kind of just
Mm-hmm.
lets him do it anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
She at this point she was probably thinking he was just gonna die
he's just
regardless. So
screwed.
it's
Yeah,
like
he's
do
dead as
what you
hell.
want.
And then they switch weapons to like a strap with like I don't know, was it a bell or a hook or something on one end?
Yeah, it became a strap match
Yeah,
wrestling.
it became the Yapapao strap match, which mostly was them just fighting with their fists. And then at one point, Spock tries to push Kirk into the fire and then results in just choking him out and killing him. So Kirk has died. Bones proclaims him dead, and so he absolutely must be dead. There's certainly no trickery going on.
And Spock is AEW champion.
And Spock is AEW champion. And Bones actually like doubles down on it a little bit. He's like, "You're in charge now. What are your orders? Because like you're captain now," which is
And
crazy.
to Spock's credit, he said, "Well, I guess I'll take myself to jail."
I guess I'll take myself to jail. So Spock then starts asking Topanga, he's like, why did you pick Kirk and not Stan? And she's like, okay, so if I pick Kirk in any scenario, I win because either you die and
Mhm.
Kirk won't take me because I'm a Vulcan. Bold prediction on her part, by
Yeah,
the way.
she's assuming a lot. She
Kirk
couldn't
would
have picked a
definitely.
riskier captain to play that at.
If you tell Captain Kirk you can have a wife that you only have to talk to once every 7 years to have like crazy Vulcan sex with, he's gonna just do that
Mhm.
anyway.
I'll ask if he can do it twice.
And then she's like, and if you win and you don't want me, then I get Stan. If you win and you do want me, then I get all of your land and money. This gold digger.
She was gonna get that anyways, so I mean,
She,
but
yeah,
I
she
guess
could have just.
yeah, go with your heart first. You know, just try to kill the man.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's totally fine to not want to marry Spock. Although, just on principle, I'm going to say Spock is probably would have been a better husband than Stan. But like, you don't got to get the dude killed about it. What the hell?
Yeah, this is messed up.
I don't like
Spock deserves
T'Pring.
better.
I hope he gets a
No,
better
no,
wife.
no, no. This is yeah.
Does he ever get married? Well, don't tell me. This is a spoiler.
I genuinely don't even know the answer to that question.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so Spock then beams up and he starts apologizing to Bones, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna go take myself to jail, and that'd be cool." And Bones keeps trying to like cut him off, but he doesn't get a chance. And then Kirk walks up behind him, and he's like, "Well, shouldn't you talk to me before you turn yourself into super prison?" And he smiles real big. And he goes, "Jim," and it's a cute little moment. And I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So
Another
anyway,
cute moment that I forgot to mention during the fight, during the part where Bones tries to give the injection. He's in Kirk's corner. Bones says, "Be careful," and Kirk just looks at him and says, "Sound medical advice."
thanks, man. Anyway, so yeah, he gave him like a thing that would fake his death, like you know how they do in movies sometimes, and
Oh, and
and it
Juliet.
worked. So then they make fun of him for a bit, and he's like, "Oh, the fever broke when I." It turns out that his sex fever broke whenever he thought he had killed Kirk, I guess. To which I ask, did he nut?
Yeah. So here's what I wrote down. Spock apparently got all the horny out of his system while rolling around in the dirt, fist fighting his captain.
I mean, look, I get it, and I ship it, but
Sometimes it happens, you know.
did he bust?
He must have. That's
He-
the only that's
He simply must have.
okay. Comments. I want I want at least one comment on YouTube and at least one comment on Spotify.
Yeah.
Did Spock but just a simple yes or a no.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give me your explanation. Just the word yes or the word no.
Did Spock
That's what
bust?
we need. Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's the episode. How are you feeling about Amok Time, one of the most famous episodes of this television show.
Kind of made fun of it a bit, didn't we?
We did, but it's not as good. It's a good episode.
I think this is bold to say, so I'm the words "one of" is going to do some heavy lifting
Okay.
here. This is one of the best episodes we've watched so far.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know
This is
how high up.
this is top 3 at least, I think.
I think I would agree. Yeah, and we have the same top two we learned from our tier list, so
That's
we're
true.
we're having the same conversation. I think it's right up there.
Mhm.
I would definitely
Mhm.
put it below Sitting on the Edge of Forever. Forever?
Yeah,
Sitting on the Edge of Tomorrow?
yeah,
Forever. Sitting on the Edge of Forever.
forever.
But I think I would put it pretty much on the same level as
The the one with Romulans.
hold on. I'll get there.
Balance of Terror.
Balance of Terror shit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh I think it's probably like kind of on that same level for sure. There's a lot going on there. I like this is so first of all, this is a engage for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think there's a lot of really great little character interactions. We really only get the trio, our like core three, and then a little bit of Chapel, but not really anything else from anybody else.
Mhm.
I have to assume this isn't the first episode with Chekhov that they filmed, because this would be a weird introduction of him just being like he's on the bridge and he makes one joke. But it is cool to see him. This is a good episode. I really, really like this one.
Yeah, I think so. Chekhov being added in season 2, I think we've maybe discussed it before, where it was Roddenberry wanted a Russian on the thing to show that Earth pulled its shit together in a time of us not knowing if we could pull our shit together.
Right.
Um, and I don't know if it was a case of we just kind of casually put him in there and we'll see what we do with him, and then they just ended up liking the actor Walter Koenig or whatever his name is. I should have more respect for his name than that, but I don't at the moment. It's also entirely possible that they did possibly the next episode we'll talk about with him first because he gets more play in that.
Yeah.
Um, but this episode is super iconic, not just for the Spock and Jim fight, but like the music here is some of the most iconic in all of Star Trek to me. Like I've always known this like battle theme song since I was a kid.
I know I've heard it before, but I can't summon it in my brain right now. But I've definitely
Uh,
heard it in like Family Guy or something.
if you've ever seen the film The Cable Guy with Jim Carrey and Matthew Broderick,
No
when
way.
where there have you ever seen that film?
No.
Okay. Well,
Is Larry in
n-
it?
no.
Oh.
Not explaining what happens in the movie. You should watch this movie. Um, they end up fighting each other at a medieval times, like in the medieval time, in sand with a crowd watching. They just get part of the show, and Jim Carrey, who's obsessed with movies and TV, just starts singing this theme song. The
That's really good. But
attacking
does
him
the
with
winner
a halberd.
bust?
Yeah, but not in that scene.
Oh no.
Gets a very strong engage. This episode.
It's very good. It's a very good episode. And off to a good start for season 2. It feels
Mhm.
I mean, spoilers. We've watched the first 4 episodes of season 2 now. It feels like season 2 is like higher budget. There's a lot more production. We see the bridge a little bit here, and it looks like they've redone the bridge a little bit.
Mhm.
We see new rooms in the Enterprise, like McCoy's office, and I think we haven't even seen Spock's room before. Granted, it's just a redressed version of everybody else's room. But yeah, I have to assume season 1 must have been a pretty good success because it seems like they're rolling with more money on season 2.
They've really set the pace for what we have the budget for now. I think this Vulcan set is one of the most intricate sets that we've built, clearly.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ship looks nicer. In fact, maybe the reason Kirk climbs the ladder at the very beginning is to show that we have a set where he can climb a ladder.
They just want to be like, hey man, check this out.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's stuff down there probably.
We don't have to steal sets from Andy Griffith anymore.
Mm-mm.
Unless we do.
I mean, we still might, but I don't. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Well, what a good start for season 2. Are you ready to move on to... Oh, sorry, do you have
Yep.
trivia?
I've got a couple.
All right, trip me up.
So this is the first time we see the Vulcan hand salute at the very end,
Oh,
where
right. Oh, and he
he
says live
hits
long and
them,
prosper. I don't think we've heard that
hits him with
before.
the live long and prosper. It's also the first time that he said that. They also say peace and long life, which is the less famous thing that Vulcans say. It's also come come to think of it, the first Star Trek episode ever to feature any Vulcan that wasn't Spock. We've never seen other
True.
Vulcans before this.
Seen Romulans that are effectively the same thing, but yeah.
That's true. But no, specifically going back to the hand gesture,
Even the time Spock
uh,
pretended to be a different Vulcan, he was still just called Spock.
that's that's painfully true. No, the hand gesture, Leonard Nimoy improvises that, and he just off the cuff threw that up because it's like a modified version of a traditional Jewish religious hand gesture that's done in like priestly ceremonies. I don't know enough about Judaism to go into detail about that, but Leonard Nimoy is Jewish,
Hmm.
and he that's how he came up with it, which is kind of neat.
Yeah,
That
that
he
is cool.
put a little bit of his faith in something so spiritually important to Spock, a Vulcan. And then the last thing that I'll say, I think is really funny. We made fun of the stupid helmets that the Vulcans are wearing to hide the fact that we didn't have enough ear prosthetics.
Right. Right.
They're literally the same helmets the Romulans wore.
I thought they might be, but these ones were just like painted silver, I think. The other ones I
Yeah,
think were gold.
they were like a bronzish gold, and they just hit them with the silver paint on this one.
Yeah.
For the reason of we don't want to quote unquote spend the time putting ears on all these extras, or we ran out of ears.
It's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah,
Ugh.
but that's it. That's it for that one. Now we can move on to the next episode.
Who mourns for Adonis? Although, I don't know. It says who mourns for Adonis here, and then in other places it says who mourns for Adonai, which is maybe just a different spelling of Adonis. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
you know what? Let me jump into that. That's actually something to do with the trivia we
Oh,
have
okay.
here. So I think it's this episode's mostly known as "Who Mourns for Adonis," but I'll just read it as it says. The name is taken from Adonis or Adonais, as we're unsure. An elegy on death of John Keats by author or poet, I don't fucking know, Percy Bysshe Shelley. I butchered that for sure. Um, the line 415 of that reads, "Who mourns for Adonais?" Basically, oh no, it is pronounced Adonis. So Adonis is derived from Adonis, the male of the Greek mythology, as we know,
Right, yeah.
associated with fertility. But it also is the English plural of the Hebrew spoken name of God.
Huh.
Adonis is spelled how it's spelled in the title. So literally, the title translates to who mourns for the gods.
Makes sense. That actually makes maybe more sense than the actual title. Although you could say
Yeah.
that the guy in this is an Adonis. He's very buff.
Oh boy, is he.
Um,
And tall. So tall, in
so
fact,
tall.
it caused problems on set.
Did it actually?
We'll get
I
into that
assumed you
later.
meant well, we'll get there. So this episode starts, as do almost all episodes, on the Enterprise.
What?
I know, shocking. They're nearing a planet called Pollux 4, and a brand new crew member who will definitely appear in tons of episodes after this, named Carolyn Palamos, gives Kirk, Bones, and Scotty some kind of report about a different planet in the system.
Is she gonna be one of those cute uh officers on the Enterprise that is just there? Or is she gonna be one of those cute officers on the Enterprise who causes us some fucking problems?
She's going to be one of those cute officers on the Enterprise who has a highly specific specialization that would only be useful in the exact episode that she shows up in, and then never appear again, and yes, also cause some troubles for us.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough, fair enough.
That's the one. But Scotty is not listening to whatever this lady is saying because he's too busy flirting with her, and he asks her to go get coffee. And then Kirk and Bones start making fun of him for it. And when they leave to go get coffee, they start saying some like kind of sexist stuff about like, oh, like the women, they meet a man and then they leave the service. And the way that they say it, because it's the 60s, you know that what they mean by it is like, not necessarily that's why they join the service, but like, oh, they're going to meet a man and then they're going to go start a family. They're
Oh,
going to go
sure,
immediately like
sure.
start
They're
having
gonna
kids and they can't
they
work.
join the service until they meet a man. Then they do their real purpose. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it means.
Yeah, which is like really shitty. There is one like maybe saving factor of it where Kirk is like, oh, I'd hate to lose the officer. Where like he's still valuing them as,
Yeah,
an employee and as an officer, even though her specialization is like Greek myth and like highly specific bullshit.
yeah,
So, maybe not a terrible one to lose in this case, but it is like the one saving grace of that conversation of him being like, you know what, she is actually really useful. So I'm glad that they at least threw that in.
yeah. My biggest takeaway is why are they being so mean to Scotty? He don't deserve love. Come on.
He is like 20 years older than her.
Also, you know what? I want to say this about they meet a man and they leave the service.
Yeah.
We had a wedding on this ship last season.
We did. And then the guy
She's-
died.
Oh, well, maybe that's why she didn't leave the service. Never mind. I take it back.
That's right. She got married. He died.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
she showed up in the next episode talking to a different guy.
Oh, well, she's gotta get out of the service somehow.
She can't work. What are you
No.
talking about? A woman employed in the 60s?
Woman on a starship?
What do women need with a starship? I thought this episode. I thought that quote was this episode.
No, it's from a movie.
Anyway, as they near the planet, a big stupid green hand shows up and grabs the ship, to which I said, the fuck?
No. Don't worry. It's probably just Green Lantern.
It's probably Guy Gardner.
Yeah. When they were just like being slightly sexist and making fun of Scotty for trying to hit on a coworker, my eyes were just kind of like rolling.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Oh, thank God! A giant green hand grabbed our ship. Finally, things are starting to make sense around here."
Oh, finally, it's Star Trek again.
But no, jokes aside,
Right.
the visual, yes, it's silly.
Very. Yeah.
But once that sets in, the visual of this big ass fucking master hand creeping towards the until it just grabs it, that's kind of creepy.
It's very creepy. Yeah.
It's pretty spooky, pretty big spooky hand during the spooky season.
Yeah.
This will come out in October.
They also say like they mention how it's not made of flesh, it's not a living thing, it's just energy.
Mhm.
Spock like does a scan on it.
And they also try to shoot it.
They try to shoot it a little bit. They try to escape, but they can't get away. And I wrote in my notes, there's some good physical acting from Kirk here, where they try to pull away, and the whole ship doesn't shake, but because he's standing up, grabs, I think, Chekhov's chair to not fall over.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's smart that he thought to do that. That's clever. Because no one else reacts to the shake. It's just
He's a
him.
professional.
You know what? He might be crazy in his old age. He was a good actor back in the 60s.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Hall of Famer.
But don't worry, a handsome face then shows up in their window and starts calling them his children.
Oh boy. So yeah, in case you were worried that we had left godlike alien being episodes behind in season 1, here's Apollo.
Well, look, what I was going to say is at least you can drop the like.
Yeah, well now he's just fully saying he's
Now he's just God.
Yeah.
Anyway, he welcomes them to his planet, and he's like, but you have to do everything I say or I'm going to squeeze your ship until it explodes.
And then he starts to do it.
Seemingly
and in case
just
you
for
think I'm bluffing.
Yeah, and it makes, I guess, like a crazy noise because people are reacting like their ears are hurting. Maybe it's supposed to be like a pressure thing.
Yeah,
I'm not
I think
sure.
They do say that the pressure's building up, so I think just like the idea of the ship starting to collapse in on itself very slightly is causing the pressure in everybody's brains. They're gonna get nosebleeds.
It's gonna rupture their eardrums or something. They're getting the
Yeah.
bends.
I wouldn't want to be there.
Anyway, the handsome face who has not yet identified himself as Apollo, but I'm just gonna start calling him Apollo.
Well,
Uh,
he might as well, because he doesn't introduce himself as Apollo till they beam down to the planet. But then we're back on the ship later, and Spock calls him Apollo. That's a little
That's
oopsie.
true. And they specifically have cut off communications. So what? Hey,
Yeah.
way to go. Anyway, he says that Kirk and his officers can beam down to start celebrating, but he says, Spock, you can't come because you look like Pan, and I don't like Pan. And I swear to God, when he said, except that one, I was fucking terrified he meant Uhura.
Your heart skipped a
I
beat.
thought he meant Uhura.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh. And there's like, no,
No.
it's a different kind of racism. And I was like, well, at least it's a fictional kind of racism.
He shows some space racism by saying, "Don't bring the guy with the ears." Bummer.
Anyway, down on the planet, Kirk, Bones, Scotty, Chekhov, and the new girl, Carolyn, if it matters.
I'm not remembering that name. I know you're going to test me on the names
I
later. I'm
am
not
going to test
remembering that
you.
one.
I've written down so far for that quiz that you're definitely getting at some point.
Yeah.
We've got 15 names.
No
Of
fucking way.
Of one episode crew members.
No fucking chance.
Hold on, let me count. 18. I was wrong. 18.
18?
Yeah. You want me to
That's
give you
not
one right
necessary.
now?
Yeah, hit me with that name and I'll try to place where she's from.
They're not all women.
Oh, okay.
This
Then
one,
what are we even doing here?
I can give you a lady.
Yeah, give me a lady.
Who is Charlene Masters?
Is that not the that's the lady from the Good episode?
Nope.
Is it not?
It is not.
Oh crap. Give me a hint. What did she do?
She's an engineer.
That doesn't fucking help.
She
I got no idea.
She's the black lady whose love story got cut from the alternative factor.
Oh. Yeah, naturally I'd remember a side character from my favorite episode, The Alternative Factor.
It was just the first one I looked at that was a girl that had a first and last name written down.
That's terrible.
Anyway, so look forward to that quiz. Gonna be a good one.
I'm going to make flashcards.
You're gonna study.
Yeah.
So they all they all beam down, and they find Apollo sitting on a throne in a little tiny temple. And the guy's like, "Hey man, I'm Apollo." And Chekhov is like, "Yeah, and I'm the Tsar of all Russia." And I forget who, but someone like swats him and is like, "Don't talk to God."
He might be. I don't know. He's new here. We don't know his deal.
Do we think that czars are still a thing in future Russia? They're not really a thing now. Like they have a president.
Yes, I think because by the time that Earth unifies under one banner, then each like little pocket, each country is going to maintain their basically ceremonial leadership traditions.
Well, because we know
not
the
unlike
Earth
the King of
Federation has a
England.
council, so it's not one leader over all of Earth.
Yeah.
And then you have to assume that
Well,
underneath that there's like
so maybe that czar is part of the council.
could be, but you would have to assume that all of the countries would still function as countries, so they probably still have like presidents or whatever of all of those, and it's just that they're not the top of the ladder anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Top of the ladder. So basically, each country has more or less an appointed governor,
Right. Yeah.
instead of like a political leader that gets to throw bombs at other political leaders.
Well, they might still throw bombs every now and then. Who's to say?
No. This is Star Trek. We don't do that here.
So Apollo starts flirting with Carolyn, and then he makes it
Immediately.
so that they can't beam out and their communicators don't work. And then he's like, "Hey, could you also worship me just like a little bit? 'Cause, like I'm a god."
Yeah, we don't do that. We're from a spaceship. We don't do that.
And then Kirk is like, "What if you piss off?" And he grows really big, and he says, "Welcome to Olympus." And this is what I thought you were talking about when you said he was too tall, because he grows to be like 14 feet tall.
No, that's actually not even quite it. But can I tell you? I wrote in my notes, he got big, parentheses, like Sark.
He's got the big sark.
He became the big Sark.
Oh my god. Where's the Apollo episode of or level of Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts. We go to Apollo and he just gets big and steps on Sora.
He gets really sad. He flirts with
You could probably fight this Apollo in the Hercules level.
Yeah, you know, I don't even remember any of the gods really being characters in Hercules other than Hades and Zeus. I guess Hera,
No,
kind of.
they were just colorful background
Yeah.
guys. Like they're
Yeah.
all there. Like you can pinpoint exactly who's supposed to be who based on
Oh,
art
and
style and what
Hermes.
they're
Hermes is a
doing. But
character. I'm just wrong.
no, it's okay. Oh well, you know
Uh,
what? We got to watch the show, the Hercules show, because all the
oh,
gods
yeah,
do
for
stuff in
sure.
that probably.
Who's the girl in that? The, like, goth girl.
You know what? I'm gonna look that up. You tell us about whatever the fuck this stupid Apollo guy's doing, and
Okay.
I'll look up the
They
goth girl
say,
from the Hercules cartoon.
so they say he looks human, but that doesn't mean anything, which is a good point because basically every alien race that they've met so far has just looked like a human.
Yeah, I don't even know why they bothered bringing that up.
And then Kirk very quickly is like, well, maybe he's just actually Apollo. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. Bones
I mean,
asks,
they end up kind of like making that make sense, but at the time that Kirk said that, I'm like, that's the dumbest thing you ever said.
Bones then asks Apollo like what they get for servitude, and he's like, "You get a cool life, and you get to be with me, and I'm God." And they're like, "Oh, great." Then Kirk says he has 400 people up on that ship, and Apollo yells, and he's like, "No, I have 400 people up on that ship, and you're gonna bring him down."
Damn, he got us there.
Carolyn then tries to talk to him, and he seems to immediately have a crush on her. Scotty gets mad and snaps at Apollo, even though it kind of seems like both of them are kind of feeling each other, and Scotty's just kind of jumping in on this relationship, third wheeling real hard. And he tries to immediately jumps to gun violence and tries to shoot Apollo. And Apollo shoots him with lightning and fuses all of their phasers together so they don't work. What the hell?
Yeah. First of all, I don't like seeing Scotty abuse on my television. It triggers me.
Well, this won't be the last time it
And,
happens.
and second of all, it was Cassandra in the Hercules show.
Cassandra. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So Apollo puts Carolyn in a toga and he says, I want you to look like Artemis, who is his sister.
Greek people, you know, the gods. I want to say Greek people, and I don't want to put that on them.
No, they didn't.
Because
They don't do all that.
because
They're
they're Greek people. Contrary to popular belief, Greek people are real.
not. They do surprisingly
exist.
exist. And
So
Greece,
I'm
not Alabama.
not gonna put that on them. But the Greek gods, they were up to some shit back in the day. So
I
you
don't
know,
remember. I'm sure it happened. I can't think right now of a time when like a god had sex with their sister or something. I'm sure it happened. All I can think of is like, and then Zeus turned into a lady, or turned into a swan and had sex with a lady, or like, you know what I mean? Like those ones. And then Zeus turned
what
into
is?
a bull and he had sex with a lady. He does this a lot.
Yeah, he's got his kinks.
Anyway,
This is a sex-driven podcast episode.
yeah, well,
This,
you start with run amok time, and here we are. Uh, Scotty wakes up. Sorry, Carolyn agrees to go with Apollo, and then they both like just kind of vanish. And then Scotty wakes up, and Kirk is like, "Hey, man, you can't just shoot people." Scotty's like, "Ah, I'm sorry, I was really horny."
it happens. We've seen worse.
And then Kirk says again to Bones, he's like, "This might be the real Apollo." On the Enterprise, Spock is leading the bridge crew very efficiently. He's like trying to get. Uhura says she can set up a bypass subspace frequency, something, something, so that she can communicate with the people down on the ground. And Sulu starts scanning the whole planet, looking for a power source for Apollo. Actually, he's like, there's a power source, but I can't lock it down. And then Spock's like, "We'll scan the whole planet." He's like, "The whole planet? Okay, yeah, man, yeah."
Yeah, that beat of that's crazy and it's going to take a long time. But Spock, being a Vulcan, he's like, yeah, but you're going to do it.
But
So
literally, you're gonna do it.
you're going to
Uh,
do it.
Apollo and Carolyn are going for a walk, and he talks a lot about how the other gods died, but also like kind of didn't die. It's kind of unclear. They're not around, and they're one with the universe. But he said gods can't die, but then also he says, but there's some stuff they can't come back from. So like, but they're dead though, right? That's word for
I
word
don't
my
know.
notes, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
And then he kisses
Does,
Carolyn.
does Kratos exist in Star Trek?
Yes, I'm gonna
Okay.
say yes. But
Then
here's the
they
thing
are
about
dead.
Kratos is he dies like all the time and comes back.
Yeah.
He dies like at
But
least
what
twice.
but what I mean is like if Kratos exists, then we are to believe that the gods are dead, probably.
He just missed Apollo. In this universe, he didn't rip his head off and turn it into a flashlight.
It's pretty good.
Anyway, they talk about how Apollo might work like an electric eel, and then Chekhov has a cute little bit where he starts listing off every animal with bioelectricity, including mostly ones that are from space. And
Mhm.
Bones is like, I don't need the whole encyclopedia. Spock is poisoning you.
That is funny. I do like that. We're very quickly getting good little character beats with our new kid here.
Yeah. Bones also says that Apollo has a mystery organ in his chest. Apparently, he scanned him when they were talking earlier. And then Apollo shows up again, but without Carolyn, and Scott gets mad, immediately forgetting that he was told not to attack. Grabs a little statuette and runs at him, and then Apollo shoots him with lightning again.
Man,
And,
man, you're
and
gonna get yourself
Apollo gets
killed.
then mad at Kirk, and he uses Force Choke on him. So now he's got Force
Yep.
Lightning and Force Choke. He's just a Sith
Yep.
Lord.
Yeah, he's a Sith Lord.
Darth
We should have seen it coming.
Apollo.
This is like that there's that episode in the Clone Wars cartoon where they go to that Force planet and there's a god of the Force and a god of Sith darksidedness and bullshit. I don't remember. It was crazy shit though.
But it's just like that thing I don't remember.
No, no, no. Look, you know what I'm talking
I
about.
don't.
You,
I didn't
you
watch
there at
that far
home. No,
into it.
not you. I'm
Oh,
not talking to you. I'm talking to you
I always
listening at
forget there's
home.
other people here.
Yeah,
Hi,
they
audience.
know.
What's up? Leave a comment if you know what the fuck he's
They
talking
know.
about.
You say if you watched Star Wars before, leave a comment.
Yeah. Leave a comment about Star Wars on our Star Trek podcast.
And also whether or not if Spock busted in the dirt.
And did Spock bust?
Yeah.
Two yeses. Did he bust? And do
Yeah.
you know?
Okay. That
No context
yes.
for either.
Leave a yes if Spock busted. Leave a yes if you've seen Star Wars.
Anyway, then Apollo gets really sleepy and he disappears, which, like, I get. Um, Bones and Kirk get up and they start talking again. And they decide that if they all attack him at the same time, then he might get tired because I guess he only has a certain amount of power he can do at a time. And so they're like, he can't kill all of us. uh, and then back up on the Enterprise, Ahura's doing some actual like real engineering work, which is actually kind of cool to see because she hasn't gotten a ton to do up until now. So it's nice to see her like take control of her position. I really like that.
Mhm.
And then Spock, she's not going to meet a man and leave the Force.
No. No.
Spock then theorizes they may have to blow through the force field to weaken it. So there's like, they haven't really established it so much, but there is a force field protecting the planet, I guess. I don't know. And it's also what's blocking the communications, I think.
I assumed they were just talking about the hand that was still holding on to them.
They could be. I think they say specifically field, but it could be the same thing. And then Apollo shows up with Carolyn again, and Kirk tries to trick Apollo into attacking them, and Apollo starts demanding. Apollo demands that they come to him, and they refuse. And then he's like, "Go pick me some laurel leaves," and they start talking shit, and they come to him. So like, kind of they're doing what he ordered the first time, but whatever. But right before the plan works, Carolyn ruins it by jumping in and talking down Apollo and like doing a good job like an idiot.
Yeah, this was a good bit here because I I guess I had stopped paying attention for a second,
Uh-huh.
and then I looked back up, and because I listened to the point where Kirk was like, "We're gonna do we got this Rocky Balboa plan where we want him to beat the shit out of us till he gets tired, and then we'll strike."
Right.
And then that's I like, checked my phone or something, and then I looked up, and she's like, "Stop! No, don't hurt them." And then I was like, "Did she just ruin the plan?"
She
She
did.
just ruined she ruined the plan, I think. Or was I not paying did the plan not happen yet? What happened?
Yeah.
And then they left. And then Kirk looked at me through the screen and said she ruined my plan.
She ruined my
I was like,
plan.
"Oh, okay. All right, cool. I didn't miss anything."
Then Apollo says, you got to bring all your people down and dismantle your ship so that you can make houses out of it. You're gonna worship me. And then him and Carolyn disappear again, which happens a lot. They just keep. We have one set in this episode, and we're just gonna keep disappearing in and out of it.
Yeah.
Then somewhere else, he complains. They're like in a field or something. There's like trees around. He's complaining to Carolyn. Apollo is complaining to Carolyn that the crew won't do what he says, but that he's in love with her, and then he kisses her real deep. And then Carolyn returns to the crew by herself without Apollo, uh, where she has now completely bought into Apollo's nonsense.
Yeah.
She's
I didn't
now
mention
part of the crew.
leading up to this, she's just like basically from the get-go been perfectly okay with everything Apollo's been doing and saying.
Yeah,
He dresses her, he takes her on little walks. He's like, "You're going to stay here and live with me and do whatever I tell you to because I am God and I'm going to kiss you sometimes." And from like word one, she's like, "Okay."
yeah. It's not my favorite. I don't like how fast she buys in, but I don't know. She's doing the right thing. Like she's not betraying the crew like some other crew members have. She's just
Yes,
like kind of also being loyal to this other guy, which
she's
is
definitely
it
not
better.
she's not bottom of the tier list cuz like she doesn't
No,
even think
she's above that
that
idiot who went with Khan for sure.
yeah, she genuinely thinks what Apollo's saying is like a good idea. She's like, "Oh, we found a god to take care of us. Cool, we made it.
Yeah,
We're done."
we did it.
And
This is what
then
we were
and
here
then
for.
Kirk is like, "No, we're beings with free will, and we're explorers. We need to go back onto our cool
Yeah,
spaceship and fly around and fight aliens and stuff." And then she's like heartbroken by it.
yeah.
But she does ultimately, do what Kirk says.
Well, free will is a lot of work. You know what I mean?
It is. Can I tell you, I'm not enjoying it.
I could do without.
Yeah.
I don't think I need it all.
No.
Um. Anyway, she shows back up and she's like very clearly super in love with Apollo and kind of walking like she's got her head in the clouds. And Kirk's like, "Hey, I need you to come down from Olympus, and I need you to help us get the fuck out of this place because it's not good for us." And
Yeah.
basically, she doesn't want to hurt Kirk, or sorry, she doesn't want to hurt Apollo or Kirk, I guess.
Hmm.
But he's like, "Hey, man, if you don't, everyone else on the crew basically becomes a slave. Are you cool with that?" And it seems like she, is not. So then she stands up and she says that she can hear Apollo calling to her. So she walks off and vanishes again.
All right. This lady kind of sucks.
Yeah, she didn't do a whole lot, but at least she doesn't kill anybody.
I think because I was saying how she's like totally fine with everything he's saying, and she's kind of lost your respect by that
Yeah.
her behavior. I think where like she was a lost cause for me was when he's just casually like, "And I'm gonna put a baby in you." She's kind of looking at him with the big doe eyes, like, "Cool."
I don't remember him saying that, but I'm not surprised with how the rest of the conversation was going. Yeah, that's crazy.
He definitely said something along the lines of like, "You'll be a mother to my little godchildren."
I I'm sure you're right. Ahura then manages to get through to the ground team. She's like fixed her thing. And they discover that the source of Apollo's power is the temple that he was sitting in earlier. But they want to know where Apollo and more importantly Carolyn is before they start attacking it so that he doesn't like get mad and immediately kill her or something. But
Mhm.
elsewhere, Carolyn is again not really following orders because she doesn't know
No.
what's going on because she happens to be not around every time plans are made. And so she starts roasting the hell out of Apollo. And she hits him with the coldest line ever, which is, "I'm a scientist. I could no more love you than I could love a new species of bacteria," which sets him
Right.
off like no one else's business. And literally, he starts a storm, which then knocks Carolyn over, and she gets a little bruise on her forehead that's honestly not drawn out very well, but we're not supposed to be able to see it as clearly as we can.
Mm, fair enough. You know what's interesting that
Yeah,
is not in my trivia, but I do remember this exact scene where she says, "I'm a scientist. I can't love you any more than I can love a new species of bacteria."
yeah,
That is in everyone's favorite X-Men movie, X-Men Apocalypse.
huh. I wonder
Yeah,
if they
it's
took it
playing
from
on
you.
TV. Well, no, they don't. I mean, the exact scene on a television.
Wait, what?
Literally this episode, that scene from this show is playing on a TV in X-Men
I
Apocalypse.
know it's not a good movie, but of all the you get access to show a clip from Star Trek and you pick that.
Probably because Apocalypse is a god. He thinks he's a god. You know,
Do the one about where what does a god need a starship for? Do that one.
it's a movie and it's bad. We can't do that. Yeah, there's a point where she starts talking about how she's a scientist, and I study all like ancient civilizations and listen, I know I'm splitting hairs, but what you just described is an anthropologist, which is a type of scientist,
Mhm.
but like have a little respect in your field, lady.
Isn't this also like the third one of these we've had? Because there was also the one who went with Khan. We got to
Daniel,
stop hiring this specific subsect of scientist.
Daniel, Daniel.
Yeah.
They keep finding men and leaving the servants.
Shit, you're right. Oh my god.
Literally every time.
Oh, we got to stop meeting men. That's the problem.
Or we just stop hiring anthropologists, I guess.
We got to stop hiring people who are falling in love with dictators and gods. If we could just cut that part out, then we'd be fine. Anyway, Kirk orders the ship to shoot the temple. Did I say that right? Kirk orders the ship to shoot the temple. Yeah,
The ship.
sure.
Shoot. Yep.
And so they do, and they start blasting the temple, but it must be an expensive set, so they can't just like blow it up. So they make it glow until it vanishes and is replaced by rubble. And then Apollo comes running, and he gets real mad and starts shooting lightning at the ship in space to try and make it stop, and it seems to not do anything. And that's when the temple goes out, and then Apollo starts crying, and he says he just wanted to love them. And then I guess he like low-key kind of commits suicide. He grows, I think he grows big again, and then he's like calling out the names of his dead god friends, and he's like, Take me with you. You were right. These people suck and they don't love us. And then he disappears, and he's, I guess, dead.
He commits suicide in the same vein of Obi-Wan Kenobi committing suicide. He just lets it all go and becomes one with the universe.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'll
Anyway,
say, I'm not a fan of godlike alien beings, even when they are maybe actual gods, I guess. So this episode wasn't really winning me over.
right.
But the ending, specifically when Kirk says, "We've outgrown you," I think that's kind of strong.
It's a good bit. It's a good line. There's a couple good lines in this for sure.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have in here before we get into that is just Kirk and Bones say that they wish it hadn't come to this. And then Kirk says, "Would it have hurt us to gather a few laurel leaves?" And I was like, "Yeah, probably, man.
Yeah, you would have been slaves after that,
We've
more or
been like
less.
slaves, dude." Anyway, go on.
There's a bit slightly earlier when she's breaking Apollo's heart, basically, where we know that she kind of loves him, or at least adores him as a god, at the very least. And she's down with his plan, but she now knows that like no one else is, so she can't do it.
Mm.
She's been tasked with breaking his heart. And then when she's going through the reasons why she can't follow him, she uses the word illogical, which to me implies, and I don't know if this was on purpose, it implies that because that she does have love for this god, but she needs to pretend she doesn't, and she is an anthropologist who like studies other people's cultures, is she emulating Vulcan emotionlessness to try to mask herself while she tells this god to kick rocks to his face?
It could
And
definitely be that.
I think it's the only reason it's kind of a reach is because there should have been a scene where she shared any form of dialogue with Spock earlier,
Right.
but there wasn't.
If there was, that would definitely connect the dots better. For all we know,
Yeah.
there was one and it got cut or something. You know, maybe she's also in love with Spock. Maybe she was sad that she missed his run amok.
He's a magnet to blonde women.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that would make sense.
I'll start here. I'm not a fan of this episode. It is going to get an illogical from me. I don't think it's like terrible, but I just don't really like it at all. The one bit where they're like, "Oh, he really is Apollo," and that's where we get like all of our myth from. It did kind of fit into the world, the universe that we've been establishing here. Because I forget when we talked about it, but in an earlier episode, we were talking about how so much of all the different cultures that we've passed by all have like Greek leanings or Roman
Right.
leanings. where like the
Yeah,
Romulans are very Roman, and like I forget what the other points we made back then were, but a
yeah.
lot of stuff is like, and so it does kind of work out where it's like, oh, maybe they like visited a bunch of planets.
Mm.
And I do kind of like that, although I hated him, so I don't want him to be Apollo.
Yeah, I think this is one of the better of the godlike being episodes we've watched.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe.
I've said many times, and I will continue to say, I don't typically like it. Obviously, there's exceptions to the rule, like Q in Next Gen, basically a god, but it's very entertaining. Um, but when it just comes to episodes of I am all powerful, I look like a man, and I have the powers to do whatever I want, and you have to listen to me, and then we just basically waste 40 minutes listening to him until we escape. This is the best version of that because he literally believes himself to be a god of some sort,
Right.
and whether or not he is the actual Apollo, I guess it's left a little vague. Although I think how they imply it definitely seems to believe we are supposed to believe that this guy did visit Earth,
Right.
and that's where Greek myth began. I don't mind the guy. The episode loses me with the lady. Not her at fault of her by any means, but just like the weird romance power trip thing. I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I the character of Carolyn was kind of one note. I like that she made the right choice in the end. I think that that's good. But I also am
Yeah.
like 99% sure we're never going to see her again. So
No,
it
almost
doesn't really
certainly we never
matter.
see her again. Like I was saying, I think what almost saves the episode for me is this idea of we find this antiquated idea of a deity that's like, come, pick the leaves and I will take care of you. And they're like, no, we're spacefarers and explorers and adventurers and we take care of ourselves. We don't need you.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave you in the past. And then it's kind of tragic and heartbreaking for him. That saves it. That's I'm gonna give it and engage. It would not be one of my like first episodes to be like, "Oh, you got to watch this."
Right.
But I do think there's merit to it once you get past the bad plot with the lady.
Yeah, I see what you're saying for sure. I didn't like super hate it. I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
The reason I seemed to be struggling was because I literally hadn't wrote down my grade yet. I was like, I don't know. So,
yeah.
this one gets somewhat half-hearted engage.
Did you have any trivia for us?
I've got one or two. I did allude to this guy's height being an issue. There were multiple sources, including the actor who played Apollo here, whose name is Michael Forrest. People were saying that he's very tall and very muscular, and he is so tall, in fact, that it was allegedly an issue with William Shatner, who did not want to stand next to him in scenes.
Even though he was
Now,
supposed to be a literal god.
yeah. Now, here's the thing. Is it possible that Shatner was like, I refuse to be in this shot next to him? Yes. But am I going to take that as that's definitely what happened?
Mm.
I don't know, not necessarily. I mean, we know Bill can be a real tough one to work with, but all the trivia we've read leading up to this point doesn't seem like that's been the case yet. He hasn't gotten too big for his britches, so to speak. Although
He didn't have
I
any
can
trouble
definitely.
sharing scenes with Lurch.
Oh well, this guy's a monster from the Adams family. But no. So according to multiple people, Shatner was concerned by the height difference and quote unquote disallowed any shots which would show him standing next to the much taller Michael Forrest side by side. According to Forrest himself, whenever Shatner would speak to him, he'd notice him inadvertently standing on his tiptoes. I mean, listen, it's one of those things where I can believe it. I can also believe it didn't happen. Who's to know?
Either way, it's really funny, so I'm just gonna choose to believe it's true.
Yeah, probably a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, Here's something a little.
Ooh.
An abandoned ending to this episode would have revealed that Doctor Lieutenant, what was her Palamas, the girl,
Hmm.
would reveal that she was pregnant by Apollo.
Oh no. I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah. Shortly thereafter, somebody along the line said that's not a good idea. Let's not do that. Let's see. The costume designer of all people said that he would have preferred that ending because he loves Greek mythology and he preferred the script version where that happened because the ending would have been bittersweet rather than just tragic. Like, look, part of him lives on through this baby that I'm going to disagree. That no, I'm glad that didn't happen. Although apparently in the novelization of this episode, that's still there,
Huh.
which is I don't like that. But hey, here's something that everyone can take home as a little slice of fun trivia. The green hand
Huh?
is Gene Roddenberry's hand.
Whoa. Making a cameo.
He's literally the hand of God in his Star Trek world.
Good. Good, good, good.
Yeah.
I like that actually. Well, everybody, if you want to tell us whether or not Spock busted, or whether or not you know whatever that thing Skyler was talking about, you can leave a comment on Spotify or YouTube. We would really appreciate any kind of engagement you can get us. Obviously, hit subscribe,
He
share it
did
with a
bust.
friend, do all that stuff. You know what all content creators want you to do, and we would also like you to do those things. You can follow the show on Twitter at rsr_pod. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McGee.
You can follow me on Blue Sky at Skyler 8-bit.
And until next time, everybody, let's see what's out there.
The game's just starting, the world's so bright. Jump right in, everything feels right. Let's play, take a trip back